Welcome back, everybody, to the Andy Stall Racing IMSA Series. It's Season 10, Round 7 today. A track I've never driven at, never spectated at, just bought it. So is our race director. So some corner numbers to get used to, work our way on the track. But we're here at Canadian Tires Motorsports Park, a debut for the track in the Andy Stall Racing IMSA Series. I'm joined once again by Alice, and Brody's going to be joining us as well, but he's just got some technical issues. Alice, I don't think you've ever driven here either.
I don't even own the track. This is going to be one of the commentary booths of all time, I feel.
We'll find out from Brody in a bit if he's ever driven here, but this is going to be an interesting session. Is that turn 2? Is that turn 4? Is that turn 8? Who knows? We'll work it out as we go. We've got some laps going on here though now. We're about a minute into qualifying. We were just setting up. We had a couple of small discussions about the track before we got going, and track of time while we were discussing it with race control. But we are now going. Alex Ott has gone purple in sector 1. Doesn't really mean much because Sergio Sanchez has just gone even quicker. We're going to watch the 96 when they come across the line, if I can find them on the timing tower. It's going to be, I don't know, it's Alex Ott about to complete a lap. So let's see what Alex does on this first flying lap. Across the start-finish line now. And set the benchmark time, a 1:16.3. Remember, these GT3s need about a lap, maybe two, to fully get up to tyre temperature, but that should have been a fairly competitive time. No one behind him, no, setting a valid lap time. Ben Groneveld and Anthony Caranta have both come across the line. In fact, Caranta's time gone on the ball, but Ben Groneveld must have validated that lap. Sanchez still flying, purple in sector 1, green in sector 2. Go on board for the end of this lap, run to the line in the BMW. And it's going to go to P2 for Sanchez, but still 9 temps. What can Pete Preens do? That's going to be a flying lap from Pete Preens, because that was 3 pretty quick sectors. But in fact, it was 3 sectors because they're being shown in the wrong class. So we're going to get that sorted while we watch everybody else go on.
Both current pole sitter Alex Ott in the forward. It's a bit more boaty than some of the other GT3s, which could be a problem along the track like this, where there's a lot of slower corners. Well, to be fair, there's a lot more flow in the first sector, but when you get to that hairpin, it's sort of going to check itself up in a smaller track. Does indicate to me that you probably want something a little pointier. Then again, I always want something pointier. I could be talking out my rear right now. No, the Mustang's a nice car. It's just I just need a little bit of oversteer.
It's the problem
in my
with
life
all of the
sometimes.
front-engine GT3s, isn't it? They're all
Yes.
fairly quick, fairly safe, but often not that fun to drive. Fortunately, is the truth of the situation. And get these guys fixed for you. The reason that we have some drivers showing in the wrong category, and we're going to try and get that fixed as quick as possible, is because some of our GTP drivers have chosen to jump into 3 for the final 3 rounds of the season, 4 rounds of the season. No, I'm talking a bit rubbish because they're... So for the final 2 races and 3 races, some of these drivers have chosen to jump into this class. And Nicola Mon that we need to timing board.
Yeah, if you're not going to get championship money, you might as well. Well, I see. Some people prefer the hypercars. I'm definitely among them. I just like going fast. What can I say? Especially if I'm going fast into a wall. But yeah, there's lots of appeal to the GT3 on the current build of the game. So people just want to drive what they're comfortable with, and that is these fairly fun racing machines, I will say. Like, GT3's always been popular for a reason.
Yeah, always fun. You can always get right up to the back of the car in front, as we saw last week at the Hockenheim ring. A little bit bumping at the front of the field. The drivers were seemed fairly happy with it after the race. I know Alice didn't quite agree with some of the strategies that were going on. It didn't end in tears last time. We've seen it end in tears before. It's going to be another interesting race here today. The big long straight that runs all the way down. You can see it on your mini-map from turn 5, and that's sort of double right-hander, double 90-degree right-hander, which is turn 5, all the way down to what is labelled as turn 8, but is essentially a big long straight run all the way down that straight. And actually, we're here now. Callum looks in that Young Brothers competition McLaren going down there, trying to get some tyre temperature. You can see this is going to be a mega opportunity. Some drafting in GT3 will keep the field nice and closely packed up, and potentially open some opportunities for some overtakes at the end of this straight GT3 class. So that's going to be really good to see as they go on in the race. Alex Ott flying again. Matthias Weiten has gone to the top with a 49.38. Alex Ott's going to try and beat it. Can't on this lap. 2 purples and a yellow. Not quite good enough. Does improve. Gets closer. Within a 10th of a second now. But already 6 minutes into this session. Halfway through this GT3 session. So some of these drivers, particularly Knockel and Monty, a little bit further back, need to try and find some time. Obviously, their practice times are within the margins set by race control. Everything take part in the race, but they're going to want to try and get as far up the grid as they possibly can. Brody, I don't know if you're with us now. Just going to check.
Yeah, I'm here, still trying to figure some things out, but mainly back in the picture of things now.
We'll let you carry on setting that stuff up. Just join in
Right,
whenever you're ready. The advantage of having 3 of us, we can work around each other. Exactly. Someone can run tech support in the background while the rest of us cover the on-track action. Albert Preem's gone quicker at the front. Matthias Weiten has improved as well to get a little bit closer again. And Alex Ott, with following here, is absolutely flying through the final corner. We'll try and pick up a good exit, use a little bit of that exit curb, get on the grass though, but it's a yellow final sector for Alex Ott, but still goes to the top with a 14.621, and that shows you that there is pace in that Mustang.
Yeah, I was going to mention before you we've got 3 Fords in the top. Looks in that McLaren has just sniped 4th place, another BMW, and then another Ford Material Battalion now 6th place. Blue Oval's looking very strong around here, which is not what I was anticipating, but
looking very front engine dominated at this track. Sanchez across the line was looking good, and is looking good. Goes up to P3. Ubertali back in the field. Sits in 7th at the moment. In another Ford. Pete Green's in G3, moves a little bit further up the order. P12 for a 15.642. They'll be hoping for a little bit more. It's tight at the front though. Top 4 all within 2 tenths, and a second separating the top 13 as well. Weiten improves, but it's not good enough for pole position.
obviously this is a shorter track, so the spread is going to be reduced, but that's still 16 cars within 1.2. It's a pretty tight fields up and down.
Ott improves at the front. They're 16.20 this time. That was with 2 yellows and a purple. So still time out there on track for Alex Ott as well. So bear that in mind. Sanchez has just gone purple in sector 1 as well. So we'll keep an eye on that lap. Callum looks in the McLaren, goes across the line, but does not on that one. So we'll be to go again.
Obviously, like, this isn't a very popular track, so presumably this might even be some of these drivers' first attempts at it. And, like, obviously you're going to get your practice in, you're going to get the qualifying laps, but qualifying and practice is not race trim. So when you actually get into there and you find the rhythm, you can actually find that you are just a lot faster than your own practice on the basis that you are forcing yourself to set consistent fast laps. So this pace might be indicative, but I would not call it predictive. Like, these drivers, if this feels that tight, they can shift a lot in the race.
No.
Yep. Ooh. Double purples on that lap there. It does get a yellow first sector, but that's still good enough to hold the tune of 36 thousandths of a second. Very tight up front, certainly.
Notice we are missing Daniel Morphy today, the usual Mercedes driver who competes at the front of the field, so that could affect things in the championship. I believe, last time he had a fairly big drop round, so could hang on to a strong position after today. And obviously we've got final coming up next week. Sanchez pushing on again on this lap, just can't get it consistently across the lap. Right?
This could take us to the line. Improves, but still stuck in 14th place. Now 14 cars within a second, and Van der Mulbrook not too far off either in 15th. It's only a tight spread in the field, but the front 2 or 3 cars definitely pulling away a smidge. Whiten and Preem, the front 2 very close together. Ott has taken that position back, and to be fair, it's sort of like, yeah, you could get the pole position. It's still going to be a 2-wide start. It's still going to be very dramatic going for turn 1, but whoever has control of the fields is going to have the advantage thanks to that start zone. So you definitely want to take the position in qualifying if you can.
Yeah, that tight, it's a bit of a weird layout here, and we'll see how it plays out in the race. But you've got this big long straight that we talked about, but apart from that, it's a lot of sort of relatively high speed flowing corners, which it makes it difficult to follow, and being out front is going to be a big advantage. If it down to that, you can see on screen we've got little yellow flags now. That's new for today's race. But that one next to Callum Lux should be clearing soon, I believe. And in fact, I believe why that's showing up for Callum Lux is that it actually has a slowdown to serve, and that has now. So through a reset to pop up a little bit more in the race. Albert Preem, there you go, just picked up the slowdown and is going to give that up. Or going for, I believe, possibly one last lap in the session as the clock can count down.
Fairly short runs, drivers will be trying to get out, trying to get these last shots at flagging laps, and that's very unfortunate for Albert Preem, who I think has just ended the qualifying session. Is going to have to start for 3rd place.
So it'll be 3rd at best for Albert Preem. Alex Ott improves again at the front at 14.525 this time.
The margins are looking very small. Whiten can definitely close that gap if there's a car underneath him. Staying with Ott though. See, he carves through the first sector, now into the hairpin. Curved into the braking zone. Tight uphill. And the car pivoted and then it's back on the straight.
The yellow on the timing screen at the moment. No one really finding any time at that apart from Simone Bertolini. A bit further back.
Bertolini improves for no position, just stuck outside that second window.
Oh, big spin for Alex Ott coming through the
spin.
high-speed corner.
No one
See
behind
what,
the
we're
wheels
gonna-
reset safely, but oof.
Going to look at a replay of that from off-board because that was a high-speed moment. Really just over-rotated. Tyres maybe
There's
getting
no catch on
towards
it.
the end of their life, I don't know.
That car was sideways and there was just no reaction from Ops. It was just sat there hoping that it got back underneath, that it could keep the power down and try and surge to the end of the lap, but no, just couldn't get it rotated, and that's going to be the end of qualifying.
Got queuing in pit lane as per usual. Sanchez is still pushing on though. Green in sector 2. No improvement in sector 1, but it's not a bad time in sector 1. It was 27.7. And it's green in sector 3 as well, but doesn't improve across a lap, unfortunately, for Sanchez. What can Ubertali do on the return to the series? The absolute Asaliv Motorsports Mustang. Up to P5.
Certainly not bad. A little bit of a buffer to the cars behind means there's definitely pace in that Ford right now.
Bertolini goes up to P7.
Ooh. Huge jump.
Big lap from
Bertolini was
Bertolini.
like sat outside of the field basically, with just shotguns up into like the top 10 in the Diamonds of qualifying. That's huge.
This is just how important getting that final lap in can be at the end of the session. That's going to make a big difference to the race for Bertolini, who obviously driving in the AM category, but now sits 7th on the grid overall. Pole position in AM. Take home the points for that. Be a big championship boost for Bertolini, who I believe locked in quite a fight with their teammates. All right, we get ready to go in GTP. All a GTP today, just the 4 cars, unfortunately, on GT. Let's see, because we've still got Davey, Samir, and Quinton, and Matteo as well, but top 3 all very close on pace. That'll go on. We're about to get green flag in about 2 seconds, I believe. I'll put up at the top of your screen. There we go. Way from pit lane. Just while we're getting going here, in G qualifying, I'll just give you a little bit of a teaser to keep your eye on the YouTube channel come Monday evening. It's called Channel Well. I might be coming for next season, alongside maybe a little bit of a teaser for another series. That would be a free series if we do. Feel free to jump in the Discord, hear all the announcements about that. It's a great way to get involved with Anti-Stall Racing. And it's a return of another. Well, but we'll see how it goes. Getting a revamped hybrid system for the GTP class next season in iRacing as well. That's been confirmed today by the iRacing development team. Revamped hybrid system. Mexico City Grand Prix. Autodromo Haman, yes, is going to be coming to iRacing. That might make find out on Monday. And the revamped UI, nothing special for ASR with a revamped UI, but I know one of our race directors, Amy's been looking forward to that revamped UI for probably a couple of years now. I think we've all been waiting for it, but Amy's been very keen. We'll look forward to seeing what that brings. But that hybrid system is going to be.
I want a psychopath who plays with the transparent over UI, so I wouldn't know.
And that hybrid system, though, Alice, I'm sure you'll agree, is going to make a big difference in the GT class. Will hopefully help bring the Ferrari more equal with the other cars. Will stop the front wheels from being activated at lower speed, so the 4-wheel drive will only kick in above a certain road speed. Good to see, and the hybrid system and virtual energy tanks all working correctly is going to be brilliant to see, and it's going to make strategy in the races even interesting. So really looking forward to that. Drivers start to get a little bit more tire temperature to these cars. Maybe with a couple of purples, but those purples are going to very, very slow.
This is the fun part of GTPs. There's 4 of them, so there's not much on track action, and it's GTP qualifying, so none of this matters until maybe a few minutes later into the session when everyone's got heat in the tyres. None of this matters. We're just here to fill time. So yeah, I hope you like these scenic shots of Canadian Tire Motorsports Park Dave van der Vack is on board is kindly providing you with, but and 70-second lap time is going to tumble, but it's not going to tumble for a while.
Brody, I believe you're with us now. What's the strategy at this point during qualifying? Is it just about getting the tyre temperature in and getting your eye on how the grip might develop throughout that GT3 session?
Yeah, massively. I have actually done a few laps around here. I'm more experienced on the NASCAR heat games, actually, around Canadian Tire, to be honest, which is not the most comparison. Best comparison in terms of games. But I remember when I did drive the official series around here, it took ages to get the tyres up to temperature. Just because it's a short lap, there's not really that many fast-paced corners where you can pump the heat. With there only being 4 of them today, me having a week off, quite excited for that, actually. They've got loads of track space, so there shouldn't really be any impeding. They've got plenty of space, plenty of time to build them up. I think the fastest of the laps will come towards the end of the session. I think we may see that split strategy in terms of people may run the tyres for the entire 15 minutes. Some do come in and pit. I think if you do come in and pit for a new set of tyres, it's definitely going to be a risky strategy around here, just with it being a short lap.
Yeah, it's what we spoke on a little bit during Hockenheim qualifying last week. You get sort of maybe one lap that's really good for the tyres if you do that sort of split strategy. But
yeah,
you're relying on getting that. You basically get 2 proper push laps. Whereas if you fuel for the whole session 1 set of tyres, you might not get the most out of the tyres in terms of optimal grip and fuel load all at the same time. But you get a lot more goes at it. And you touched on there's not many corners to get that tyre temperature in because you've got that big long straight and there's no tyre temperature going into tyres down there. It's got sort of turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, and then the final couple of corners, and that's it for getting tyre temperature in. So we'll see these lap times continue to come down. Alice, you spoke, we had that 7-second lap time. It's already down to a 67-second lap time. It's going to continue to come down as the drivers push on because it's just getting quicker and quicker out there. This is on board with the BMW, but Quinton's pushing on a little bit more ahead. Davey bringing the tyres in a little bit more slowly, but appears to be pushing a little bit more now, and a lot closer actually in that sector 1 to what Quinton was able to do this time. I think we're starting to see the drivers pushing a little bit more, but we'll definitely still be hunting tyre temperature.
Yeah, and like, it is a short lap around here, so per lap you're getting less temperature, which does matter in a series when you've got fixed laps of qualifying. Here it's on a timer, so you should be able to still build heat reasonably. Obviously, like, the lap count's going to get there, but once you actually get the track time in, the heat will come to you eventually. So you just got to stick with it, don't make any mistakes, keep the car pointing forwards, and eventually these times will tumble. Now down to 66 seconds as Verdonk leads Van der Wacker. Sheldon Lemray also just rolling around trying to find time, but Matteo Lemray is actually a little bit far off. I think the last lap must have been invalidated, and Shad's, even with that time, he's still a bit off, so he's actually trying to save something that Ferrari right now.
Yeah, that last lap time for Matteo was actually a 9.2, but it was validated. Hope you'll be able to find a little bit more on that. But either way, if Matteo makes the descent race distance today, he's going to pick points. Help him in the championship. Fortune for anyone ahead. Better for the Frenchman. In series. Pretty much every race. Davey's gone purple in that middle sector, and that first sector was very good. It's showing purple on one of my screens, not showing purple on my other screen, but it's definitely very close. I believe he had the purple sector the last time, and Quinton comes across the line, goes fastest of all, and then he's beaten by Davey, puts 3 temps nearly, 1.5 on Davey, and then Quinton resets to the pit lane. So Quinton doing that split strategy. Yeah,
he's only got 7 minutes. It's going to be tough. I definitely think. Obviously, you touched on the Ferrari at the moment with that 4-wheel drive system. Probably a bit more beneficial at the moment compared to when we get all the revamps for the hypercars. It could play into his hands for this 7 minutes. I'll just have to say, wait and see how it all develops.
Just notice as well, Matteo, the only Cadillac driver in the field today. Brody, obviously you're in the booth. What's it been like driving the Cadillac this season? Because obviously those brakes are still good, but suffers a little bit more compared to the other cars everywhere else. Just a sort of constant lack of Cadillac this season.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I've been thinking about this. I think the best comparison is if we flash back to Formula 1 2018 season, where the Red Bull was so good on downforce, but lacked that engine performance. It sort of felt like that this season, where I've been able to get good momentum through corners and in the braking zones, but there's just no pull whatsoever from just accelerating out of corners compared to the other cars. Whereas last season, it was just absolutely unbelievable. Just such a really, really good, well-rounded car.
Hopefully, it'll get back on par next season. Obviously, it's going to be a new balanced performance, as there always is, in that new hybrid system as well, to try and help balance out the performance a little bit more. Matteo improved, and actually, this lap has gone purple in Sector 1, so there is pace in the Drakkeen Cadillac, and he's going to continue to push on. We'll follow on board with this lap, actually, on the Cadillac. Now, coming down the back straight, going to be the best chance for overtaking in the race, so we'll on that when it comes to it. Quinton back on an outlap. I don't know if Quinton's had to go again into the pit lane. Actually, I can see a 2x showing up, so Quinton's had a moment and has been back into the pit. So we'll try and take a look at that replay in a minute. But Matteo is still pushing on, so we'll keep on board with this. Obviously, went only a second off the leaders last time, a little bit deep into the final corner.
Yeah, just ran slightly wide to the last corner. Still a decent lap, to be fair. 1069.
Oh, and a long way off in turn 1 though. This lap over for Matteo, who will back off, get ready to go again. This is what happened to Quinton. It's just going to be cold tyres.
Yep. And into the wall, which basically kills the car immediately. So you have to take the reset, and at that point your qualifying is over. You do not have time to get the heat back in the tyres at that point. This is the problem with the gamble and the reset strategy, that if you do mess up your outlaps, then you're kind of just dead in the water. You don't have time to get the heat back in the tyres when you could have just been setting a lap. So that time that's been set is all that's going to get out for that driver. Madonk's just stuck in second place, I believe. Hopefully second place, because the Shad can still snipe below.
Yeah,
the
like
lap
you say,
times will allow is question.
really struggled to get tyre temperature now. Long left in the session. And you can see that last lap for Quinton was a 109.5. Long way off the back. So for Davey as well, but obviously off. We're getting ready to go again then. Yeah, just 3 minutes left on this session for these drivers, so they'll be able to get just over three complete laps in session now for all of these drivers. That's all they've got left. Davey improves through Sector 1, current pole sitter. What can Samir do? Not bad in Sector 1 for Samir, but it's a couple of attempts off what Davey did. Quinton, still a second off in Sector 1, so he's really, really struggling for temperature. And actually, it looks like it's gotten a little bit darker in the last couple of minutes. Helping. Davey purple through the middle of the lap.
We'll be helping the drivers with the tyres already up to temperature. David van der Vacker with the purple means that car's going to go even faster right now. Can't find anything in the final sector, just off pace with his best lap, but our Shad has a good chance to improve here and could take that second place away.
Only needs about 0.3 to steal that position from Quinton, and the fuel load's going to continue to come down for the driver of the 46, and does improve. Not enough to go to the top, but now needs about a 10th and a half just over that to get it done, and we'll get this lap and one more. Davey, though, improving again at the front. It's purple in Sector 1. Quinton still about half a second off the pace in Sector 1, so might get one lap right at the end with some relatively warm tyres, but he's not going to be at the best of the tyres for that lap, so we'll have to do something really special to try and steal this pole position away, especially from a man that has just gone purple.
Got two purples.
Purple, yeah. What can Sector 3 bring? Because this is going to be the big challenge. This final corner, can the tyres hang on any longer? And they can in the BMW.
That's an unbelievable lap.
As into the 105s.
Insane. Like, Verdonk can't fight that. Like, you just don't have the temperature. I'm sorry, but, like...
Sector 1 says it all. It's 6 tenths off what his rival managed.
Yeah.
This is going to be it for Quinton. It's lap. Samir Ashad still going as well. Looking to steal P2 away from Quinton. Fellow Ferrari driver. A little bit loose even. Slightly free there for Quinton. Not quite up to 10.
Quinton's going to get another lap here.
Yes, he
15
is.
seconds to go, yeah.
106.8 that lap is best. A 106.527. It could potentially go quicker if the tyres are warm enough this lap, but I don't think he's going to be able to challenge for pole position. Samir is yellow in sector 1, about half a second off what Davey managed. Very competitive in sector 2 though, so if he can find some pace in sector 3, there is still a chance to move up the order here.
Very slidey down that first corner of the S's though. Might just be struggling for grip here. That's Verdonk.
Samir goes to P2.
Oh, now it's on. Okay. But Verdonk won't be happy with that first sector, just based on the way that car was handling. Huge run down into the backstretch. Probably won't give up or lose too much time here, no matter what the sector time says. It's going to be a lot in these S's. What can the car do?
8 hundredths off of Samir in sector 1. 2 tenths off of Samir in sector 2 is going to take a magical sector 3. But that front wheel drive on the Ferrari can always pull something magical in sector 3. But it's not enough. It's yellow, yellow, yellow for Quinton Verdonk, who can't steal away back onto the front row. Will still start P3 for this race, but an incredibly tight top 3, really. I think Quinton would have been more in the mix for pole without that mistake. We'll look forward to how that's going to play out in the race. Matteo Lemre, a second off pole position, but big improvements throughout that session. Definitely not bad pace at all.
I think Matteo's going to watch this back and not realise how close it actually was at one stage. Because we have seen him sort of be with pace, but slightly further off than what the rest of us have been over the season. I think he'll be really impressed with how he's done there.
I don't think that's a bad lap at all, really. And you know, Davey and Quinton, Samir have been some of the quickest guys all season long. It's not just that that's who's here today. So they'll look, I think, should be pleased to only be a second. Sounds bad, but only be a second off those super quick guys is really not a bad time at all. That's 4. Get cleared though. We are going to take a look at the qualifying results in GT3. Alex Ott will start from pole position alongside Matthias Eiten and ahead of Albert Preem. That's your top 3. Sergio Sanchez for Go Esports will start behind the 3 Dutch League racing drivers at the front of the field. Matteo Ubatali up to P5 on race 2 for him this season. Callum Lux P6, Simone Bertolini, P7, the highest placed AM driver. Then comes Dominic Knockel. Luca Picardi will take P2 in AM and 9th overall. Pete Breen's in P10. Ben Groneveld in P11. Jeffrey Ross in P12. Alberto Casado for Go Esports in P13. Nicole Monti in P14. Ivan Veska in P15 for Go Esports. Then Dutch League Racing's Vincent van der Moelenbroeke trying out for GT3. 16 and Anthony Caranta in P17 ahead of Quinton Bossi as Davey van der Backer has a mistake on the cold tyres, and I believe those 18 drivers have just fit perfectly onto our graphic. Yes, they have. Let's take a look at GTP. Not going to take us as long, this one. Davey van der Backer will start on pole position with Samir Ashad alongside him. Quinton Verdonk will start P3. Matteo Lemre in P4, who will be looking to pick up a bunch of points on the people he's fighting a little bit further down the championship standings, and will be looking for mistakes from drivers ahead, and will just, I think, play this one patiently. That's what Matteo's got to do. I mean, look how risk avoidant he was at the end of Hockenheim, going onto the grass to avoid the lead battle in GT3. I think that'll be the strategy today.
Right, everyone, this is your weekly reminder. The race
Yeah,
will
it's a
not
fairly
start
narrow
on
track.
the green
Just make
flag.
sure
The
you're staying
race
out
will
of
start
people's
when
way.
your
Make sure
class
you're
leader goes
keeping a
into
car
start
pointing
zone,
forwards.
as
It's
the
things
start
we've
zone
said
as indicated
time
in
and time
the
again
briefing
here,
in
but
PDF.
you know,
And we asked the GT3 Poltons, so that is Alex Otte, to leave somewhere between, very roughly, a 15 to 20 second gap to the hypercar field. And finally, we asked by the pole sitter in both classes, so that is Davey and Alex, to activate the pit limiter during the formation lap from the apex of turn 9. So this is the second to last corner, until you reach the start zone, so everyone can pack up and get nicely ordered. Other than that, all that remains is for me to wish you a good race. Let's have fun.
Andy once again interrupting us on that formation lap. I'm going to let Alice carry on with what she was saying.
I forgot what I was. Oh yeah, don't crash the car, idiot. That's long and short of what I was saying. I will continue to say it because it keeps being true. Speaking of don't crash the car, I'm sorry, Callum, that was mean, but
Let's take a look at what happened to Callum Lux pushing the limits in warm-up. Up behind the BMW, a little bit deep on the brakes as the tyres are still cold. A little bit of aero wash, and Tokyo drifts through the dirt to get back on the racetrack.
That was a beautiful slide.
Well held in the McLaren. That's what a mid-engine car is good for.
Yeah. I think we're going to see a lot of that today. I mean, just looking at the GT3 qualifying alone, how tightly packed that was. I think it was only separated the top 16. It's definitely going to be a bit like last week's race at Nürburgring. It's going to be very, very more focused on GT3. I'm excited to see. I believe it's Alex Hart, Matthias Veit, and Albert Preem not separated by that much. That's going to be probably the battle to watch for the majority of the race.
It's going to be really interesting to watch. I mean, we saw last week, I know it was with the Mercedes and Daniel Morphy mixing it up at the front with those guys, but just how going one lap longer, going one lap shorter, saving a little bit more fuel, slightly shorter stop can put the race on its head, because I think it was Matthias led the whole race up to the pit stops last week, and then Daniel Morphy went one lap longer. He'd been in the draft behind, had enough fuel to go one lap longer, which meant less fuel in the tank when he comes into the pit, because he's got to get one lap less on his tank, and opened up the race for him and was able to overcut Biden, who was then not able to get back by, despite showing the nose an awful lot, not able to find a gap big enough. Albert Preem will be pretty pleased to be up front as well, I think. Obviously struggled to get to grips with the car last week in Hockenheim. A lot more on the pace today. He's maybe had a little bit of practice in the Mustang. So let's see what Albert can do over a full race distance. That's going to be interesting. Mastering a car for one lap. You've only got to do one lap in that 15 minutes, that matters. That is a whole different a whole race distance. We're going to get a full formation lap here today. Is always good to see. A full formation lap at the 65-second lap time is probably for the best.
These cars are going to need it.
Davey van der Vacker yet to grid up. They've got about 30 seconds left to do so. They've got and he's on the grid, and everyone's on the grid now, ready to get going. So that Porsche safety car is going to get rolling shortly. Lights come on at the top of the screen. The drivers have been asked to leave a slightly smaller gap between the classes this week. Shouldn't be a problem. Only with the smaller top class as well, being too close for them isn't as much of a concern for the GT drivers, but the short lap time means back up a little bit, because a 20-second gap on a 4 lap around a lap like this, basically the lap, they're going to start very close to each other, but in the wrong way. Although our GT3 leader is not yet rolling, they're going fairly soon.
15 seconds is still like not an insignificant amount of time, a little bit.
Get rolling shortly. There they are. The GT rolling. file in GTP as they try and get some tyre temperature. A little bit of a gentle discussion about this amongst them. So they can all try and search for a little bit more temperature easily. Did an IMSA E-race this weekend with our race director Andy. Tell you what, formation lap is not fun when you're alongside another car and trying to get tyre temperature for GTP because you really can't get that much on. And these guys are
Honestly, I don't bother. I do a little bit of intro build time, but I know like a lot of it's just going to come from running the track normally. Like I'm not risking it. I'm just going to go, okay, I'm just going to drive a nice, safe, predictable formation lap and still get taken out sometimes.
Well, yeah, always annoying when someone decides to point you on the formation lap, and nobody will want to do a Scott McLaughlin out there. So you want to get tyre temperature, but you don't want to be too aggressive and states. Our leaders are coming.
Yeah.
Go on, Brody.
I was going to say that's absolutely right. If it was me in those Ferraris right now, I'd be scrubbing the hell out of those front tyres. And to be honest, even though we've only got 4 of these GTPs this week, with it being such a narrow track, I think they're still going to play just as much as a part in breaking up those GT3s as they did last week.
Even want to be enough because it just forces you to go single file, and once you start being forced to go single file, that's when you can start dragging out some gaps. You can't follow through as tightly as you want to through a corner. You can't pinch people down, affect their line. It can just really affect the run.
Getting ready to go green here. David van der Backer with the pit limiter on. You can see the headlights flashing, has turned it off now, or will be turning it off. He's getting ready to go. Samir Shad needs to be careful not to overtake the pole sitter.
Green flag, green flag.
We got the green flag call there, but they won't be going until Davey goes in the start zone, and he's still on the pit limiter and goes now. Gets a good jump from the rest of the field. We'll clear down into turn 1, and crucially, Quinton Verdonk has cleared Samir Shad on the way into turn 1. Which is what Quinton needed to do to try and get back on terms with the pole sitter, but Samir is not going to let him go, and he's pushing along, and Samir is off the road, and Matteo follows him off. Can he keep it out of the barrier? Yes, he can. Keeps going on the grass, but that's going to separate out our race leaders, and it's a big gap already for the race leader. So we're going to go and watch the start in GT3 as Alex Ott prepares to lead the field to green. Wait till they're in the start zone. I believe it's the 2 white lines that he has to go in, and has gone now at the front of the field. Down into turn 1, keeps the lead. It's side by side between the 2 teammates behind. Great to have these DLR drivers all in different colours. Makes it a little bit easier for us to tell who's who. And Alex Ott leads into turn 2 and turn 3 as well. And is side by side a little bit further back in the field.
So dangerous to be side by side there. You're on
we got a car off ahead of Simone Bertolini, and Bertolini looked to have been tagged as well, but has got away with it. That's Sanchez off and has lost the rear wing. Is under investigation already by race control, as you would expect. We're 3 wide a little bit further up. There's contact between the BMW and the DLR McLaren as the Ferrari gets out of it and chooses not to get too involved, as Pete Preens is still hassling Dominic Knockel through onto the back straight, that is, and Pete Preens is now going to have to go defensive as they are under attack now, and it's side by side down towards the end of the straight. Who's going to pick up a toe from the BMW ahead? Neither of them seemingly going to spread out a little bit. Got either side of the car, and down the inside, it's going to be the inside line for Alberto Casado, I believe that is. No, it's not. That's the is that Quinton Bosi? I'm not sure. There's Jeffrey Ross, apologies, in the Ferrari. Couldn't see the name on the timing tower. And Matthias Vuyten has briefly been off the track, but has remained in P2. David van der Backer leads in GTP ahead of Verdonk as Shad Lemery on the end of that lap. Lemery recovering from being off on the grass, has lost about 5 or 6 seconds to the car in front, but has survived and lived to fight another day. Will now get his head down and push on for the rest of the race. Sanchez is towed to the pit lane. That rear wing missing, making that BMW very, very difficult to drive.
It's not just a missing rear wing. At that point, the car's taken a heavy hit with suppressing there's real damage in there as well. At that point, you just have to take the toe and hope for the best for the rest of the race. And another incident for Sanchez Cachifiero, who's been in the wars a little bit last few weeks, but certainly early going. We'll see what race control say about what happened to the incident as we stay with the races. They tried to get it
trying
around,
to find
but
the incident. I think he's had another moment further around, unfortunately, for Sanchez. Yeah. This is what happened. Ubertali behind, gets into the back of the BMW. off into the barrier. Probably has suspension damage as well, given how big that hit was. And that is why Sanchez could not make it back to the pit lane, unfortunately.
That looks like a fun hunt to me.
I was about to say, it looked like... I was going to comment on that. Just that bit of contact, it looks like it was just a misjudgment in terms of who was braking where.
Often happens on lap 1 with such a tight field. Casado carries too much speed into turn 1, keeps it on the road and gets away with it. Not sure if there'll be a slowdown to accompany that or not. We've had a couple of people struggling on this lap, actually. Dominic Knockel's been off, also in turn 1.
Based on what I remember of iRacing slowdown rules, you're probably fine to do that without getting a slowdown. You're not.
And Jeffrey Ross is going to follow suit behind in the Ferrari.
You will get the 1x for the off track, but like you're not cutting the track. You're not gaining any like race distance.
Luca Picardi was battling out with Pete Preens a couple of laps ago. Oh, and gets into the side of the BMW. And well, everyone seems to mostly get away with it there, apart from the McLaren who took the first hit. But it's kept going at least, and our GTPs are already making their way through this traffic. Your race leader leads by 2 seconds now over Quinton Verdonk and is threading his way through the GT3 traffic on this twisting and tight Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. Samir Rashad trying to make inroads on Verdonk through the traffic, but can't clear the Mustang into turn 1. That's going to cost him. That gap doubles in size through just one turn.
Oh, he's trying to pick away at the inside. Chad can't quite get the gap. It's the problem with these hypercars, that sometimes they just can't stay alongside through the corner, can't pull alongside through the corner, so you just have to sort of back out, try and set up for the exit, does get the switch back. But while this is happening, Verdonk and Rashad just driving off into the distance, putting more and more cars between them. It can be so frustrating to just be stuck here knowing that you need to get through these cars and you're just not getting the space you need. Finally hits the backstretch. We'll just be able to overpower these GT3s, but a lot of damage in time.
Take another look at this. Got on the curb, Pete Preens. Take another look at it. He's under investigation by race control. Sorry, carry on, Alice.
This is currently looking at the back room for one of the GT3 AM cars. I forgot what I was saying. I got cut off completely.
Dominic Knockel on the offensive here against Matteo Vitali's got the GTP on the inside, trying to find a way past the Mustang. Well, he's got a good run on the exit of turn 1 here.
You should just get covered off. You can just sort of do that lazy crossover. Knockel's going to try down the inside.
And clears the
Might be able to
Mustang,
make that
wow.
stick.
Rare to see a move. Yeah, rare to see a move like that in GT3, like you say, Brady. Very good move from Knockel. He's going to try and move forwards a little bit. I think being stuck behind some of the AM drivers as the race got underway. Alex Ott, dominant performance at the front there, 1.2 seconds ahead of Byton, who's another nearly 2 seconds ahead of Albert Preem. And Callum
I'm just going to say Callum Look's playing his part once again, challenging the top 3, the back of Albert Preem, looking for a move on the inside. It's just not quite there. Showed the bumper a little bit, but I reckon if he keeps putting the pressure on, he will eventually make the move.
Definitely going to be opportunities for an overtake into that, it's not the final corner, but into turn 8 at the end of the straight. We saw it on lap 1, but it's good to see how close you're able to get. It popped up at the top of your screen. Mattia Ubertali has picked up a 10-second time penalty for that contact we saw where the Mustang got into the back of McLaren.
He's trying to see what the gap is between Lux and Preem. Lux to stabilise to about 4/10, which is a bit further back than Lux was, which seems fairly tight to make a move around here, so could just be gained in this not final, but this hairpin where they came quite close to blows last time, but no, this time gives up a 10th and does fall quite a ways back. We'll get some of that close back up again just thanks to having a draft, but yeah, Preem should just be able to pull away a little by little here, I think.
A little bit too far back for a move this time, unfortunately, for Callum. We'll try to recalibrate and go again. Aaron looks good on race pace though. We saw it from Knockel as well when he overtook Ubertali. There is a lot of pace in this McLaren. Interesting to see.
I think you touched on it briefly. The front engine GT3 cars, very, very quick, but I think difficult to get into a smooth rhythm during the race, where we're seeing these mid-engine cars probably more suited to the longer running, where they've got a better balance and can carry more consistent speed throughout the run. Especially for a short tire, like Canadian tire as well.
I think the McLaren potentially better in some of these high-speed corners as well with the aero balance, which is clearly helping Callum since we're having that push a little bit more through some of these corners, but it's dropped a little bit further back again. So we'll be focusing on
the GT3 on the GTP, excuse me, on the turn 1. We just can't make that time back, so it has to sort of watch as the 4 drivers off the distance, or white and Preen, all 3 blue ovals leading this race. Let's go back and have a look at Mateo Lemmering. I believe he's going to have a moment.
Onto the gravel. Oh, yeah. It's a problem when you get onto the grass on the outside. It's hard to get it turned and get back on the track too quickly. Albert Preem as well with a moment. E3. Race leader. Must have seen that actually from the onboard of Knockel. Onboard of Knockel? The onboard of Callum Lux, sorry. It's that line. The Picardi, well, making inroads. Was making inroads on the car of Green's given a 5-second time penalty for this incident. So I think that's fair, guys. 5-second time penalty for that one.
I'm not sure I agree with Andy because he will beat me over the head.
I will. You know what? To be fair, I do think that is justified. Obviously, we all know the curbs are quite high around here, and if you are going to touch them, you are going to slide off them. So contact's inevitable, especially when you're that close. I think that was fair. And then again, going back to Ubertali's penalty, I think that's also probably justified for that stage of the race. Probably just a little bit too aggressive on lap 1 for what is a 1-hour race.
A bit of a battle shaping up here. This is Bertolini Bertolini in the BMW ahead, but then we've got Nicoli Monti in Monti, then Preens, then Groneveld, then Esga a little bit further behind. All really going at it. A mix of the pros and the AMs here. Well, let's have a look at GT3 as one. They're all mixing it up today. This is what I like about a track we don't drive as much. Brings everyone to a bit more of a level playing field.
See everyone just squirming, trying to find like a way around the car in front. Just invites the car behind to have another look. Upsets everyone's eye levels and can really just ruin the flow of the race for a few of these drivers, and that could be what you need to make an overtake opportunity. Jeff Rush is going to do the old-fashioned way. Just be faster, take the car up the inside, and we'll get past Bertolini. Very easy.
That's going to open up the opportunity for the Acura behind, actually, who's looking for a move on the BMW already. That is Alberto Casado, the pro driver, trying to clear Bertolini. So that was Ross clearing the last of the AM drivers. Casado will look to do the same. Battle behind. On.
Prince wants the move, but there's just no space there. You just have to try and take the line, hope you can maybe shove the inside here, but that's a hard move to make onto this corner. We've seen it made once, but you really have to be committed to it and hope that your fellow drivers are very aware of what you're trying to do. At that point, they're just going to have to let you pass, but nope, Monty's going to hold on, just take the corners normally.
Good exit here, though, for Preens.
Preens going to get the overspeed, gets the outside corner, and there's just no way through there.
I think Preens is going to be a little bit more cautious after he received that penalty last time.
It's possible, but I don't think he'll be thinking about that too much. Obviously, new track, probably new sort of guidelines for race control in terms of what can go, what can't. As Casado now launches it up the inside of Bertolini. Great move.
There's the AM driver, and not much sense in fighting that for Bertolini, really. Still 5 seconds ahead of Luca Picardi, and will not want to any of that time fighting. Oh, and pushing Casado. It's pushing Monty, sorry, is Pete Preens through that final corner. Still can't find a way by, and Ben Grunewald is shaping up a move behind now.
Yeah, it looked like Preens just got a bit of a tank slapper coming out that last corner. Got very, very sideways. It's just cost him a little bit in his pursuit.
See the Electro definitely trying to be aggressive, trying to find a way around any way possible. It's just that there's really no way around the Porsche at this point in time. Definitely half a look at the inside, like trying to offset the line, but there's just not enough space around this side of the track. You need to just give yourself a wide buffer here, try and get the overspeed on this corner exit, and just hope that you can get clear. I suspect what was happening with Casado further up the track was there's just no speed on the corner exit for him, so the cars behind were able to catch up here and make the move in probably the hardest braking zone.
Also
right
closed
now,
in.
is not affording himself. Oh, okay, just about to get it shoved up the inside of the GTP.
That's going to throw the Porsche off a little bit. I was about to say they're also closing in a little bit on Monty ahead. Sorry, on Picardi ahead. It's going to be interesting to see if they do catch that BMW. Pete Green's close again here into turn 1, but it's just because of the way turn 1 is shaped, it's really hard to make a move in turn 1. Oh, he's going to get a cut back here though, and going to try and get around the outside.
You can't make this move though. There's no way around the outside here. You're going to be off camber unless you can like somehow tuck it back in and get the just continued crossovers. I just don't see this working for Preens, especially with GTP trying to get past you as well. Again, just stay in the car's wake. Don't try and pick the outside here. Okay.
Rashad does not want to wait around. Was closing in on the car ahead actually, but has lost a little bit of time with that traffic.
But this is good. This is good. This is going to be nice and close. You'll get a ton of draft. You should have decent exit speed as well. I don't know if you've got the overspeed, and that's what you really need. That's how you're going to get it.
That gap is coming down. You can see it on the left-hand side of your screen. This is the closest these two have been coming down this straight. And, well, is Monty going to defend the inside? No.
Nice.
Vince has found a gap, and the gap is going to stay open. Can he keep it round the outside? That's going to be crucial. And no, has to slot back in behind the Porsche.
For around the exit, though. Slightly different lines.
Getting closer to being able to put a move on the Porsche ahead, just finding out which bits of the track are best to push on. But every lap he sits behind, they fall a little bit further away from the cars ahead.
But I did like that attempt. Like, it was just very well established. Give yourself the best opportunity on a longer straight to get the overspeed, get deeper on the brakes. Couldn't quite stick through the S's. But I think that's how Prince is going to make this move. He needs to set up a bit more to the outside here, try and play towards the exit of this corner. He's going to take a wider through the middle of the hairpin. I just don't know if he got the car rotated enough there, and that's actually going to let Monty jet off into the distance a little bit. And right now, what was a 1.14 second gap is now a 0.27 gap. And you saw how close Prince was last time and couldn't make the move stick. I think he's going to really struggle to do it this time. Oh, car's loose in front though, and that's going to really check up the field. Monty can't get the throttle down as clean as he'd like, and once again in the clutches of the McLaren driver. A little bit defensive there. No, not into. I think Preens could have committed, but just sort of like halved it, and then ended up in this sort of awkward situation of, well, I need to brake at some point, so I need to brake heavy and earlier than you. Oh, that's a little bit of a washer there from the Porsche driver.
Try and find the outside here for Preens. He's going to keep his foot in, actually.
But then it's just going to wash out on the second part of the corner.
I think Monty may have cooked his tyres a little bit too much than a bit more than he would have liked. As we saw, he got a little bit loose coming through the fast sort of left, right, left sequences. And again on exit at the final corner, I did see him get a little bit squirrely.
This field is now checked. Oh, that's because there's a GTP coming through.
Green's actually under threat here now from Ben Gronevel behind. Close enough to make a move, but he doesn't really want to be thinking about right now. And Nicoli Monti, thanks to Matteo Lemeray, now going to be a little bit closer to Cardi ahead. Maybe able to pick up a little bit more of a toe in to help defend from the car behind.
Shouldn't matter too much. Monty's been weakest around this sort of section of the track. These S's, the ones on the end of the track as well. The draft isn't going to really do you too many favours around there. It's the straights have been where Monty's been the strongest, and you don't need too much help around there. As Prince once again gets the inside, but quickly becomes the outside. And, it's just no space anywhere.
The best opportunity for Preens is to sit behind and try and get a good exit onto the straight. We'll see if they've done that this time round.
I think there's a bump there as well. Preens can definitely carry more speed through the corners, but just can't find a space to make it work. And I think just because of the awkward contact it looked like they made during the hairpin, it's just given Monty enough of a kick that, yeah, that Porsche's just going to stay in front. You can't really adjust the line enough to get alongside here. There's just not enough space to like build enough of an overlap to get driving room. And once you get to this point, you don't have enough of a speed advantage. You're sort of forced in this awkward situation of I have to stay behind. Shows the front like he's done in previous times. Probably just gets a better run up the hill. Two tires.
He's got to get the inside.
No, surely not.
Keeps his bumper in, and that's going to push the Porsche off the track. Not sure if there was contact there, but Monty is going to lose 4 positions here and tumble all the way down to 15th overall.
And the car in front.
And Picardi's off as well. It's a double win for Pete Preens here, who will clear all of the AM cars, bar the leader in one fell swoop. And the leader in AM now has a 7-second lead. There's contact behind, big contact.
No!
We've got 3 cars off, 2 in the wall.
Oh, it's a disaster.
Let's take a look
really
at
good
the
racing there,
sequence
so
of events here.
Oh no.
Right, we're going to go back even earlier and start with Nicoli Monti. Look, the McLaren gets to the inside. Is there contact? There's not contact.
Yeah, I think
there was no contact. It was very, very tight. But I think he just spooked Monty a little bit into a mistake.
Yeah. I think that was fairly clean from all of them. I think Monty just wasn't ready for the car to get dove that hard. And
let's carry on along with Monty and see what happens, because Monty, I think, unfortunately got caught up in the next corner. Oh, very unlucky there. Take a look at what happened from somebody that was actually involved.
I think that might have been a bit of curb hopping from the Cardi, who takes,
a McLaren, a gold McLaren getting on curb.
Cardi with the victim air quotes there as he gets tagged.
Ben Gronevel's. I think Ivan Veska just nowhere to go.
Oh, yeah, that's just... I don't know if the car's rolling back. You're phrase control. I'm just not sure if the brakes hold there. That's kind of... I know, but the car would just roll back like that if they just...
Oh, and Nicoli Monti, well, gets away with it mostly, but he'll be kicking himself.
Just about.
Been off the track earlier, forced him into that position, unfortunate. Dominic Knockel's been off as well while we've been catching up on that. Let's see what happened to the German driver. Currently runs P5. Nicoli Monti is now past Luca Picardi as they're racing again. Picardi pulling over.
Bit of team orders there, looks like.
Perhaps.
Kind of weird to just do it there, though.
Maybe a slowdown, but I've not seen anything showing up on the log for...
Unless Picardi thought he got like an incident of some kind, just wanted to give the position back out of kindness. Or Picard. No, Picardi was.
Picardi was
leading
off the
pack.
track, wasn't he? Yeah, there was not really anything that Picardi could have done with those big incidents. Alex Ott to
I'll
the
tell you
pit
what-
lane.
Oh.
First driver to the pits after 23 minutes. Matthias Whiting carries on one more lap.
Oh, a lot of blinking.
Prima
by
looks
side.
as
Side by side here. Ivan Vesga. Yeah, Ivan Vesga behind, and LR Mustang gets ahead. Look at what's happened to him. He's a lapped car. The race leader. Wow, that's Matthias Whiting lapping.
Oh.
Cars already in this race.
That would explain why I can't see a Ford
Wow.
in that pack. Yeah.
Alex
Mine's
Ott
just
to the.
been doing that
Oh, sorry.
thing.
Alex Ott on pit lane exit here.
Times up perfectly, able to just wave that GTP through and finds a little bit of spare truck to get those tyres quickly up to temp and should be okay. I'll say little on the earlier side for the pit window. Normally you see these GT3s push to 30-minute mark or closer than that, but still should be good for 2 stops.
Yeah,
That's
Alex
a
Ott
good
had
20
pushed
minutes
on
even
at the
though
front
you're
of
safe,
it. Alex Ott had pushed on at the front now, so I wonder if burned through a little bit more fuel to build that 5-second gap, but I think they had at that. Interesting to see what the others do. Albert Preem in this lap, but Matthias Whiting carries on again.
so as Callum looks. I'm just about to say there, Preem was having his mirrors full of that Jensborough McLaren. And I, to be honest, just watching how these cars have been behaving throughout this race, I think the overcut might be the better way to go.
We saw it work last week at the Hockenheim ring, and we've seen it work before. Save a little. That your stop ends up being shorter because you have less fuel. It's worked at a lot of places actually. So let's see what happens here. It's Alex Ott and Albert Preem that we're watching here.
Yeah.
Albert Preem on pit exit. There is Alex Ott away up the road actually.
Yeah.
Albert Preem was running third. Alex Ott, so actually to only be 5 seconds behind here. 7 seconds. Actually isn't a bad comparison. We've got 2 of our GTP into the pits. Quinton Verdonk pitted last lap. Rashad Mateo.
Also, if the GT3s, you probably want to run long just so you don't end up hitting and the next thing back into traffic, given the way some of these cars have been racing. Just giving yourself a lot of clean track to work in, probably not a terrible idea right now.
Okay, that's pretty much everyone into the pits now. There's Whiting, Callum Lux, Matteo Ubertali into the pits, as is Jeffrey Ross. So we now wait to see where Alex Ott comes out relative to these guys. Is coming through only turn 1. Am I looking at Alex Ott coming down the start-finish straight? That makes a lot more sense. We take the lead. Tube actually. Matthias Whiting now. He's 8 tenths
No.
ahead of him.
Oh,
No.
yeah. So there we go. There's confirmation.
Overcut works because that gap was, I think it was about 3 or 4 seconds. Although it's got the tyre temperature here, and Matthias Whiting, well,
Oh, I think
on
White
the
might
inside
meet some
gets
dirt
out.
there.
Alex Ott retakes the lead. Callum looks about 7 seconds back, and Albert Preem has lost out big time here. Albert Preem, well, P4 now, was P5 for a moment.
Ooh, I think
He's 2
spin through
seconds behind
Batali
Callum
there.
Lux. Batali's been off track. What happened? Yeah, loses the rear end. Wow.
Good
That
job
was
of catching it
fortunate,
though. I think
yeah.
I would have abandoned, yeah. Actually, what I've done is I would have overcorrected and gone to the wall on the outside, but hey, that's just me.
It's about to go from bad to worse for Albert Preem because Dominic Knockel is shaping up for a move here and has got some significant overspeed. Going to force his way to the inside. Close enough. Just needed another 100 metres or so. Davey Van
Don't know
der
about
Bakke
that cut down
into
from
the
Knockel
pits from the lead.
Sorry, don't know about that cut down from Preem, excuse me, Knuckles not happy about it. Get a little bit of argy-bargy in the final S's.
But Knockel pulled off that brilliant move on Ubertalia earlier in the race and knows how to get past a Mustang. Race leader exits the pit lane just behind these guys.
Let's see how close that McLaren can get to the Ford. You just need
Now
to do
under
it at the
threat
right
from
time.
Jeffrey Ross behind, actually.
Flashes from Preem is interesting. I'm assuming that's just a misfire. This is looking very good for Knuckle. Looked very good for a moment for Knuckle. Looking a little bit too far back this time by to make a move, so is Ross and the Ferrari. I think we'll just be sat 4, 5, 6 as they run so far. Let GTP through. Takes to the outside for the corner. And Preem misses the apex by quite a margin. That's going to let Knuckle have a look here into turn 1 potentially as they go through the S's. A lot closer this time. You see Knuckle trying to take every advantage through the curves. I think that might have unsettled the car a bit too much as we have a look at Matteo Lemery.
Well, he'd gotten into the wall, but I think it's just the grass again for Matteo, who's really struggling around here now.
Back on the action cam, you can see how much deeper Preem gets into. I believe that was turn 1. Just trying to cover off the potential advance on the McLaren. So it sets you up for less speed through turn 3, but at that point you can just cover off the apex of the corner and there's no real way through there. To get into the hairpin and you just get checked up on the apex. That's what ruins your whole flow through the corner, excuse me. And once again, these drivers just find themselves stuck with nowhere to go.
Good thing for Knuckle here is got the toe to defend from Jeffrey, which is doing them a very big favour because Jeffrey's got some serious speed here. 20-second time penalty for Groeneveld for causing brakes. Wow.
Okay, that tracks. I didn't think there was a brake call. I used to think I'd defer to race control to say that for me.
Wins
Ross
the
looking very
now
aggressive.
behind this battle. Going to clear some of them by turn 1, but not the Mustang.
Oh, but that's going to upset the GT3 of Preem potentially. No, just about gets the good timing of it.
When now a
And
shaft
that
coming
GTP
through
is
as
definitely
well.
going to upset Ross.
Going to calm down for a couple of corners potentially here, but actually Ross now closer and Ross close to Knuckle, but Knuckle now a second back, and this is going to be a golden opportunity for a move, but now back out of it. But no,
I think Ross gave him a bump draft there.
Going to be less of a toe in front, isn't there, this time? Alice, I think this is going to be an opportunity for a move. Talk us through it.
Ross has the overspeed and wants to use it. We saw the bump draft potentially down the short shoot, but now this time it's just going to be a straight run into first of the S's. Both drivers covering the outside. Ross says, okay, I'll go around. Picks a bad time though, because he sort of does that around a corner, which is there is one this straight, and is forced to stay around the outside at the first S's. Doesn't get any overlap, so doesn't need to really get given any space on corner exit, and Ross is going to stay behind. I think that's a mistimed move there. Unfortunately, just had too much speed at the wrong point in the straight. Pulls out a line at a bad time and just can't establish an overlap.
Yeah, that's a shame. There was definitely potential for a move to be on then. Oh, and down the inside. How was there not contact there? Dominic Knuckle went off the road a little bit in turn 1. That messed up the speed, flashing the lights. Jeffrey Ross.
No, Ross, you can't flash it. That was fair driving. Probably doesn't feel like it in the cockpit, but that was all square as far as I'm concerned.
Get an even better toe this time though, and look, before they even get to the back straight, it's trying to put the pressure on.
Like you need to be on the inside or the outside line for this corner to set this up properly. You have no real space anywhere else. They are very close together this time through though. I think that might have been a good launch for Ross. Might just go inside, Can't quite get the overlap though.
Got it.
Oh, he's there now.
Oh,
Bumper's there.
and that should be check and mate Ferrari pulling ahead of McLaren as the move finally made for Ross. Just about getting, you need to be deeper on the brakes than that. They are
and there's
squeezing
contact on the
turbo.
exit and the move is not done.
Oh, that is incredible work there from Knuckle.
Oh, spins for Jeffrey Ross, tags the barrier. On the pit straight, can he get it spun round safely? This is going to be difficult. A lot of cars coming through, there's a gap now.
No, that front left is done. You tow that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was so unlucky. It's really, really good battle we were just watching then. If there's a statement for racing hard, racing clean, this is it.
Like, that was just such a good move attempt by Ross, but just can't quite keep it pinned on the inside. Breaks late, loses the rear, can't catch it in time, and just sails into the wall unceremoniously.
Take another look at it. I think Ross got unsettled coming over the curb, actually. On that inside apex curb, I think.
Yeah, just knocked it.
Tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah, just knocked it ever so slightly, and then also being directly behind the McLaren. All just no air going over any of the wings.
0 to 0.
Really light.
0 to 0 for Jeffrey Ross was up to 5. He's had to tow to the pit lane. Tow is now on the jacks. New tyres are on, but Jeff.
Yeah.
Well, it's all settled down here a bit now. Ben Groneveld had a moment I was about to show before we cut to that Jeffrey Ross crash. Let's have a look what happened. 95. Curb. And sends him flying.
That's... Picardi on a little bit of pressure from Monty right now, but nothing major stacking up there. Otton White off the distance looks further back still. Cream's managed to shake off Knuckle as well, so... And what's happened, David van der Vakker's had what we can only describe as a perfect GTP race where nothing happens, you start on pole position, you just go through traffic, nothing bad happens to you, and you win the race.
Into the dump was 3 tenths quicker last lap, but that's all traffic, really. Yeah, much. Look at the lap time history, though. And it's the wrong thing.
I am... Oh, there we go.
Quiet. That's the lap time history. So Verdonk is closing in. Back a couple of tenths slower.
Is it closing?
Yeah.
I thought
6
that...
tenths.
I'm not sure now.
Now it got bigger this lap. Second. But every lap before that, it was getting quicker. That was a bad lap from Verdonk. No, I don't know if that was traffic that time, but.
Either way, Van der Vacker definitely has a very comfortable position right now. 6.7 lead, and it may have come down, but it will rise back up again. It looks like Van der Vacker, whatever was wiring in previous laps, is now wiring Verdonk. That gap up to 7 seconds, and decreasing.
Jeffrey Ross still in the pit lane, but the only retirement so far in this race.
It's been fairly clean for everyone else. There's been some fairly hard knocks from a lot of these drivers, but everyone else seems to be getting along okay.
Yeah, we've got a battle on our hands. Ubertali on the back of Dominic Knuckle. On before.
What the fuck?
Okay, Simone Bertolini not very happy. Apologies for the language. Take a look at what happened.
I have a feeling there's a GT3 about to end
Oh
up in the
yeah,
fence.
it is the race leader. Finds the barrier. Let's take another look at it.
That
Flashes
is
the
a,
lights, but race control might not be too
no, that
pleased
doesn't
with
matter. I say... I wouldn't be expecting that was on a GT3.
From a racing driver's perspective, there is a gap there. Whether it was
Whether it was big enough and appropriate is the question.
Yeah, whether it was safe, yeah. I mean, looking from them angles, they didn't look like there was that much room. Maybe an onboard shot might prove.
There's also some context to it that needs to be discussed as well, because David Van der Backer is leading by 7 seconds at the front of the field. So, was the move necessary? I think is a question that you.
Yeah, if it was me, definitely not. You've got that massive buffer. You know you're quicker than the rest. You don't need to be taking risks, especially just over halfway into this race.
And also, you're sending down a very uncomfortable looking turn too. That's a car pointing in the wrong direction.
Let's go back a little bit further. Simone Bertolini has found the barrier. Obviously running very high up in class at one point. Spin.
Ooh.
Nose, and wow, it's a big barrier there.
Tyre barriers in iRacing do not mess around. Please tow. Your car is toast. Please tow. Please don't. Okay, this is what we're doing. This is what we're doing.
We're going to watch this because it always makes Alice happy.
So, okay, the pit road is right there. The tow is not that long. You're just. Oh, okay. Here's some more. Okay.
More time.
Just remember to last season when we had a Ferrari GTP reverse to get into the pits at Monza in the opening round.
Piccoli Monti's been off as well.
Not a good day for the DSP esports guys. Another spin.
Owen finds a barrier. Well. 2 cars in one lap.
Oh, left rear's cooked. Yeah, that's another day done.
Please tow. That car's not moving. That left rear is not connected. Like, I don't like getting on the throttle a little bit to see what it's like. Oh, okay, and we're going to lose another car here, I think.
Well, the GCP allowing Mattia Ubertali to try and get the move done on Dominic Knockel. They're going to be side by side into turn 1. Can the Mustang hang it around the outside? Tries to carry the speed through and does carry the speed through. Wow, to keep the inside and stay ahead even going into turn 2.
I've noticed that with a couple of cars this race. That corner is slightly banked, so you can run that outside line and gain so much more grip compared to the tighter line that you take.
Why is Quinton
the GTP has re-entered the fray
involved in this? Quinton Madong, let's take a look at what happened to Quinton. 2 cars are battling behind. We're going to go back and take a look at that in a moment. Oh, Quinton getting caught in the aero wash behind VG.
I think he just caught a bump on the entry, to be fair. I was just watching the right side wheels, see if they touched the grass. I just noticed a little hop.
It looks a little bit like the car.
This is a little bit far back, apologies. This is also a little bit far back. This is as far back as we can go. So the GTP came through and that allowed these 2 to get side by side. Down into turn 1, just look how brave the Mustang is on the outside and carries so much speed. Big risk of ending up on the grass set. Like, keeps...
Beautiful move, yeah.
Picardi off track again. Leads though still and has retained the lead. Gone too far off and... bit of grass, which doesn't look too healthy, does it? Because I think it's probably driven.
No.
Dominic Knockel off as well. What is happening? These 2 laps. Going to keep up with the Mustang and can't do it. Van Veska as well.
Yeah. Oh.
Mercedes. He's at the top of the hill again. Sake. Hey.
Knuckle probably just trying to figure out, wait a second, how did that Ford carry more speed than me through that corner? I'm going to carry more speed through that corner. Then you very quickly realise that you're driving different cars with different setups, so maybe you can't actually carry that much speed through the corner compared to the car in front. It can be a lot challenging trying to outdrive someone when you're in different machinery, as if you're involved looking around the outside. Ivan Beska could look for a switch back, doesn't take it, chooses to stay high side. Fall back a little bit.
Groenevald's been quick today. A couple of mistakes. Various stages. in that 20 time penalty and stop him having a race and a good race today. On to try and get past the Mercedes. Currently sits on the podium though. Anthony Caranta is 30 seconds behind, so potentially still on for a podium here despite the penalty.
You just see how those mid-engine cars have just got so much more stability through the braking zones. See him just close up to the back of Vesca so much. I think he's going to look to mount a challenge this lap. Though Vesca just get that slight better run through turn 1.
See from Velt's getting a lot earlier to the apex than the Mercedes is. That's a fit. Oh, because there's a GTP on the outside, of course.
Yeah.
Just getting it turned in earlier and trying to hold the apex for longer, whereas Pesca's a lot more touch and go in that Mercedes.
Verdonk into the pit lane for the second stop of the day for the GT driver. Was one of the earlier takers on the last cycle, so surprised to see Verdonk in around the 45-minute mark. Can't see the others cycling over the laps with half minute to go. Jeffrey Ross, ball flag. Back in the car probably. That has now sat in the pit. Accident. Albert Preem off and in the wall.
That's
high. That's... Where is that?
That's the hairpin.
A long sequence of things that's happened here, and it's going to start with Callum Lux going off the track.
Good catch on the oversteer.
Very good save, yeah.
That point,
Just a little wiggle.
Just going to take you off.
Is Green behind with a lot of closing speed, and tries
Outside
to hang
line.
it around the outside. What's going to happen here? Contacts what's going to happen here, and into the barrier for Albert.
That looked like just an unfortunate bit of spacing between the two cars where...
Oh, in racing instant.
Yeah.
Well, there was room for both of them to give on that one.
Yeah, I think the car on the inside is just going to wash out a little bit at some point. You obviously want to try and squeeze towards the corner there of your Preem.
Oh, Preem in the pit lane. Yeah, managed to drive it back. Meatball, and I think able to use the fast repair, so will be able to get back out. Hasn't lost too much time. See where he cycles out once the rest of the field are complete their second stop, but we'll be able to make it again from here. After. Bertolini getting ready to battle it out with the very damaged car of Quinton Bosi. The headlights on that Ferrari, because they're all broken.
How have we missed that?
Bertolini is completing their second pit stop. That's why they're in this situation. I'm not sure quite what's happened to that Ferrari.
We've literally seen nothing about Quentin Bosi all race. I mean, we come across and we just see...
I think Quinton Bosi was involved in the lap 1 incident and hasn't repaired their car. Let's take a quick look. This is the only thing I can see on the record for Bosi.
Yeah, that looks like the lap 1 fun.
Oh no, seeing how that involved Bosi, to be honest.
That's not Bosi. That's why.
Yeah, let's take a look. This is Bosi in the lap 1 incident at the back in the Jacqueline Ferrari.
Big clunk somewhere.
Has contact with his teammate even.
That's
not with it, so that's not where he picked up all that damage. We've got a series of 1x's here. We're going to click through them one by one. Prepare to be entertained.
There's clear environmental storytelling going on here with the
Turn 1, 12 minutes into the race. Away with no damage. He's going to go off in about 10 seconds time. That's the second 1x of the race for Quinton. Away with it again though. And let's take a look at the next one. About 6 minutes later. Damage on the Ferrari here. Grass and once. 45 minutes into the race. How many will we have to do? Quinton Bosi.
It's already got damage
there, though.
Wait.
What?
What's happened? What have we missed?
Well, there's nothing in between these two things, and the car looks fine here. So let's follow this one a little bit longer, see if Bosi goes off again. Otherwise, we're all very confused.
I'm very intrigued now. I'll go and do some in-depth search and I'll get back to you.
Well, I've got a Bosi at 35 minutes on my other tracker. Car is undamaged here. We haven't seen this one.
This is the most cursed car front end I think I've seen in a while, unfortunately.
I honestly cannot see anything on my log. If you find it, Brody, let me know.
Now I'm seeing a 1 minute 46 lap time pop. I'm just going to have
Samira Shad off the road.
Oh, that might have potential race implications.
Take a look at what happened here.
Oh, that's a weird one.
Wait, damage free though. And Veska has passed Albert Preem as well. Sure, what's happened to Albert actually? Had a problem. On pit exit, might be pit exit actually. Simone Bertolini has passed out. Sure, what's happened to Albert? Dropping down the order. I can't locate. Albert must.
There is a certain gap on the timing tower currently, which is ominous.
I can confirm Albert Preem, Jeffrey Ross have left the session, unfortunately. So that is them out of this race.
Ross leaving makes sense.
Ross was in lane with that meet. Why? What happened? Albert, that's unfortunate for Albert. Recovering after a damage. But Albert was able to cycle out. Dominic Knockel on the back of Van der Moelenbroek, who's on the back of Charlie. Madonka and Samir Shad have both made their pit stops. Davey on the back here yet to make that second stop. That is expected. Alex Ott, the only of the G3 drivers to have made 2 stops, currently 8 seconds behind Callum Lux, and will inherit place after top 4 Callum Lux. But this battle, which spread out a little bit here, but Ubertali and Knockel both have stops.
Sado gets past Picardi for 7th place.
Look at that, I'm not sure what happened here. Wrong one. This is the right one. Here we go.
Pit lane, my beloved.
Groeneveld off track once again, unfortunately. Callum Lux enters the pit lane from Pete. That turn 1, not proven to be a killer for anybody yet, but the instant points too high for anyone. The highest I can see is 13. Drivers on 11. Monty, though, had a bigger problem. Oh, big spin. Loses
Oh, no. And that's into the barriers. Bang.
Oh, big crash. Ooh, upside down as well.
What? What? Why is the car clipping into the gravel? iRacing, what is going on?
I've found it. Update on Quentin Bosi. Do you have anything on Dominic Knuckles' lap 33 or anything by any chance?
Back to live images while I do a bit of a search. There's Vyton into the pit lane from the race lead.
It's very, very slight contact, believe it or not, with Dominic Knuckle. I think Knuckles just
On
coming to lap
lap,
Bosie.
what was it, sorry?
33 for Knuckle, 32 for Bosie. They do make contacts, according to the game. That's where Bosie picks up
36.
the front bumper damage. 33.
Yeah.
33 for who and 30?
33 for Knuckle.
I was impeded in the last sector.
Have on lap 30. There we go, we can see.
Yeah, just keep watching this, actually. I think it is coming up.
Interesting to know what happened here, because obviously he's lapping.
There we go.
There we go, wow.
That's it there. Just a slice
Slight
of
contact.
touches.
What? What?
Alright, mystery solved.
No, not mystery solved. What the hell? I swear to God, the more time I spend in this league, the more cursed it gets. Literally, we've got ghosts inhabiting the front bumpers. Do I need to call the mystery machine Scooby-Doo to solve this?
Right, we are still running. There's about 6 minutes left on this. Not seeing any message pop up for the without blocking. Dominic Knuckle still trying to find a way past, but this is a lapped car now. He's going to get out of the way and separated these two out a little bit more.
Odds actually closed up a little bit to white, and I don't remember that gap being as low as 2 seconds earlier, so still something of a hunt for P1 overall, but still very much in White's control for now. So we are in the final 5 minutes of this race.
Rashad's been off the road. Let's take a look what happened to the Ferrari driver. The carrying on though. Again, drivers get caught out today. They'll lemonade off into. Two today.
My body is a machine that sends Canadian Tire Motorsports Park into off-track 1X.
Ivan Veska looking most likely to make a move of anybody yet. The plate comes back from a car ahead as the race leader is finally in for the final stop of the race, maybe. Previous seasons with the larger fuel tank could have been a one-stop here in GTP.
And like I should hand for Buffer to get away with that unscathed. As Watts does get a little bit close to light. I'm not saying anything's going to happen there, but it's looking a little bit incredible. Bosie and a little bit of a dogfight with Sanchez Cachafiero, yes. And on the lights. It's still on the lights. Okay, Bosie's not happening at all. Can't keep the gap though.
See anything showing up.
And a GTP is going to make Bosie's mood even worse.
Less. So every driver still out there has completed 2 stops in this race. Briefly yellow flag for Knuckle, but off in the runoff at 10.
Oscar maybe having a look at Grunwald towards the end of this race. Whiten's still out of the clutches of Otto, even though that delta has come down. So as soon as I point towards it, it shoots back up again. Traditions.
Remember, Grunewald ahead has that 20-second time penalty that will need to be served. Groeneveld jumping Vesga in the
Oh,
pit
no.
side. Uh-oh, Alex Ott has crashed.
You know what I was saying about Ott having the Delta potentially to get to the end of this race and maybe challenge for the win? I'd like to issue a formal apology to Alex
On the
Ott because this
curb,
might be
as
the
we
biggest,
saw some other drivers.
the biggest commentator's curse I think I've had. That is so unfortunate. Dying moments of the race, the car just entirely loops.
Steering wheel looks straight though, so we'll be able to carry on to the end of the race and has stayed P2 actually. Now only 3
That's
seconds ahead of
incredible.
Callum Lux. Bacardi off the road. Leads though, just going to be a little one at the top of the hill I think. 30 runoff.
We're getting some good lawn mowing going on up there. Probably a bit too good based on the state of the grass up there, but looks like everything's quieted down in the last minute. Vesca can't quite hold on to the back of Groeneveld. And also doesn't need to hold on to the back of Groeneveld, importantly, for that. I don't even know if they're in the same class anyway. Oh, that is a time
Vesca.
penalty for Vesca.
10 seconds impeding. Well, I was about to say this could play out to be the win in GTPM.
Went off the road for Vesga as he that penalty information.
I know exactly what happened. Vesga looked at the penalty, got frustrated at the penalty, forgot there was a corner you need to actually be very close to
Davy
exit
van
to,
der
and what's
Wacker.
happening? Davy van der Wacker!
A quiet race for the Dutchman today, but we'll come home to win in GTP and the BMW. Take home a nice of points. Well, Michael Emmerich finished well, probably his best result of the season. Then the Donkin B2 and Samir Shad will take P3. Hayes Viton yet to come to the line, but leads by 16 seconds. Green is coming from the final corner now and will win in G3. Then Groeneveld pressuring Luca Picardi, but obviously has that 20-second time penalty, so nothing will come of that. Whatever happens, Luca Picardi will win. Then Groeneveld will come home in P2, finish P3 as Ivan Vesga will be promoted up to 2 after the post-race penalties are applied. Alex Ott will take P2, which I'm pretty pleased with after that spin. Callum Lux will get the podium after he lost it last week due to a post-race penalty after a amount of incident points, and there's a bit of a traffic jam going on. They come up the hill.
Oh,
Ferrari steams in with an awful lot of speed. Dominic Knockel will come across the line to 5 and 8. 4.
Just waiting for a big cloud of carbon fibre to come arising through that section.
Something's gone on because there's a lot of tyre smoke. Yeah, our car's looking wide.
and blocking the entire road to do so.
Got donuts ahead.
I think that's Matteo
I'm
celebrating
going
his
to put good
highest
money that
finish
that's on
this season.
Matteo, and indeed it
Yep.
is. Yeah.
Let's go for victory.
This
I
is
mean-
incredible.
Come on.
He could be very happy with that. He kept himself out of the wall. Like you say, he's going to get some very good points for that
Picardi.
fourth place finish.
Green flag, green flag. Okay.
Luca Picardi on the radio, happy with the points that he's going to take home today for the win. All right, let's take a look at your race results. GTP, Davy van der Wacker won the race by 15 seconds in the end, ahead of a fairly dominant performance, and a further 35 seconds ahead of Samir Shad. Mateo a lap down, but wasn't a lap down to the cars in front, was only at about 30 seconds behind. Chad? GT3 Pro, your race winner, Mateusz Viton ahead of Alex Ott, a DLR 1-2. Callum Lux with P3, he'll be pretty pleased with that make-up for the Nürburgring. Matteo Batali in P4, Knockel P5, Sado in P6, Preens in P7, Van der Mullerbrucker in P8, Sanchez Rossi will finish laps down after damage and shoes. GT3 Am race winner Luca Picardi by 4 tenths in the end ahead of Ben Groeneveld, but that won't matter because Ben Groeneveld will serve a 20-second time penalty, but Ivan Bezga a 10-second time will take P2 in the 3, and then Rossi, the mysteriously damaged car, 6. Got one race report that's come in from one of the drivers, so those are preliminary things. If you want to find the full results after today's race, you can catch them on our website, or head over to the also linked in able to find results from this week's race and any races. You'll also be able to find information about how to join us for the season finale at Road America and 90 minutes. Head over to the website. You can be able to purchase race entry to cars in that race. And like I said before, keep your eyes on the YouTube channel for Monday, and you'll hopefully see after cup. And yeah, sure to join us. Head over to Discord if you want more information, and there might be a. Thanks for joining me, Alice, as usual, and Brody. It was great to have you with us for this week's race. I'm sure we're going to see you driving next week. Join on YouTube as well, and we will see you all next week. Thanks. Good night.